Hello, very good evening. I am Mahen Pratap Singh. Welcome to my channel News Simplified. I am going to talk to you on a very important matter that has been raising in debate for the past many months and even an year. You know, two governors, the governor of Kerala, earlier governor of Kerala, Arif Muhammad Khan, and Tamil Nadu's governor, Mr. T.N. Ravi, have been accused of withholding bills passed by the respective legislatures, and they have been accused of holding the wishes of the elected government to ransom. It means they are jeopardizing the intents of the government to provide welfare to the people and implement its policies for the people. It has been a hot raising issue for the past many months, as you already know about that. I am going to delve deep into that same matter. What powers does the governor and the president have regarding their assent to the bill which is sent to them for their approval, and how long can they procrastinate, how long can they sit on the bill, and how long can they be holding the implementation policies that are being pursued by the governments. All this in one video you will find. First of all, let us talk about Article 200 in the Constitution. Article 200 of the Constitution gives the right of giving assent to a bill which is presented before the governor to whether withhold it, whether assent it, or whether send it back to the legislature to amend some of its clauses, and sometimes the bill in its entirety before resending it. The governor can ask the legislature to make some changes in the bill before representing the bill for his approval. It can be done by the governor. There has been a very important judgment on this. Governor T.N. Ravi has been engaged in a kind of a constitutional and legal fiasco with the state government, with Tamil Nadu government, and a judgment has been passed by J.B. Padriwala. It was a two-bench judgment led by J.B. Padriwala. J.B. Padriwala outrightly rejected the very notion that the governors and the presidents can prolong giving assent or keeping the bill in suspended animation for unspecified period of time, for a longer period of time that is appropriate or justifiable. This judgment by J.B. Padriwala set a timeline of 3 months for the governors and the president to decide on the bill which is presented before them. Whether give assent or reject or withhold the bill or send it back to the legislature for reconsideration on clauses on its entirety or in its entirety. This should be done within 3 months of the uh, bill being presented at the table of the governor or the president. But the media and the government have been arguing that this cannot be a rightful judgment waiving the higher authority or a constitutional authority of the governor and the president, which has been accorded to them by the constitution itself. This has been the argument of the government, union government, central government, the Modi government, that this kind of a direction on the part of the Supreme Court to the president and the governors cannot be acceptable in view of their high authority that they have in the constitution. This is going against the very authority to just force them to yield to the assent of the bills. What do the uh, what do the governors and the presidents do? They either assent to the bill, they withhold assent, or return the bill to the assembly with a request to reconsider the bill as a whole, or certain clauses are reserved for the consideration for the consideration of the president. These are the things that are generally done, or these are the ways in which a bill is dealt with by the president or the governor of the state. But the governors keep sitting on the bills for years, and the matter of approval or the assent or the it remains in suspended animation and drags on and drags on. This is what has been happening till date. Now, it is also called that the governor and the president have their discretionary powers, the powers that they can exercise on their own. It means it depends on their wishes whether they come around to the point to approve the bill or send it to the legislature or send it to the president for consideration. This is their confirmed right. This is their discretion to do with the bill that is presented before them. Let us delve deep into the discretion of a governor or the president itself. Let us deal with the governor first. Article 163. In the Article 163, the governor is required to exercise his functions only on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers, except in matters specified by or under the Constitution. The governor, according to this Article 163, is bound to act on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. But here are some exceptions. If there are some urgent and very important issues or matters is specified in the constitution, they can withhold the bill for a longer period of time. They can use their discretionary powers on that. Uh, there are so many court judgments on the discretionary power of the governors. The first one is Samsher Singh versus State of Punjab 1974, and the second is Nabam Rabia 2016. They make it clear that the executive functions of governor as entrusted on the office of the governor can be exercised with the aid and advice of the council of ministers. He cannot just avoid or bypass the aid and advice criteria of the as given in the constitution. They cannot bypass that, and there have been two commissions who have approved this very principle. The first one is Sarkaria Commission and the second is Panchi Commission. They have also reiterated the constitutional principle that the governor should act and on the advice of the council of ministers, and they should have respect to them before uh, making any decision on the bills, whether to withhold it or to assent it or to send it back to the legislature or even send to the president for consideration. All these can be done only with the aid and advice of the council of ministers. The governor cannot act independently. It has been uh, proved. Even the constitution does not allow the governors to act independently. Why? The first one, the first reason behind that is that there is no mention of the word discretion in the Article 200. It means they can, the governors can uh, do whatever they like with the will by the power of their discretion, by the discretionary powers as such. They have been, in a way, denied permission by the constitution itself to do that. Where do the governors then draw power, are empowered to use their discretionary powers? What is the source of the discretionary power which is being applied by the governors and being talked about in favor of the governors and presidents? There is Government of India Act 1935. It is just similar in its wordings even, and in its intent even. It is the same as the Article 200 in our constitution in most of its intentions. What does the Government of India Act 1935 section 75 of the act is substantially the same as Article 200. Section 75 uses the words the governor in his discretion, which means that giving assent or withholding it, or sending the bill back to the legislature, or reserving it for the consideration of the governor general, is done by the governor in his discretion. First of all, remember this Government of India Act is a British time act, and the Britishers had enacted it according to their own convenience and not to the present day situations. The powers of the governors were paramount at that time. Now it is indisputable that this kind of logic is tenable. It is indisputable that this logic is untenable. When the Article 200 itself omits the word discretion, Where does the question come that you draw your legality from Government of India Act 1935, the British era law? Over when we set it aside, we see that the focus of the Government of India has always been dumping the old rules and regulations. British era rules will not be acceptable. This is being claimed by the government itself, and is still sticking to those rules as specified in the Government of India Act 1935 is ridiculous, I think. That this issue of discretion, one more thing that is required to be noted here, the governor can exercise discretion that is not detrimental to the state. It means the state legislature and the government are functioning smoothly, welfare schemes are being implemented, and there are no hurdles that can be created by withholding the bills. This must be kept in mind by the governors. There is surprisingly, the court in Shamsher Singh discovered a discretionary power in the governor under Article 200, but they allowed the discretionary power of the governors in the judgment, Shamsher Singh judgment, but that must not pose any threat to the smooth functioning of the legislative programs. That should not be detrimental to the state. Now, governor cannot be vested with such powers to bring to halt the legislative machinery. In the state of Tamil Nadu versus the governor of Tamil Nadu and others 2025 case, the case, the judgment given by the court did not accept the idea of a governor exercising his discretion. The court overruled the very idea of making the governors super constitutional figures who can go to the extent of doing anything with the bills that are presented to them. They outrightly rejected in the state of Tamil Nadu versus the governor of Tamil Nadu and another case 2025. Let us have a look at Sarkaria Commission. Sarkaria Commission, while granting that normally in the discharge of the functions under Article 200, the governor must abide by the advice of the Council of Ministers, said that in rare and exceptional cases, he may act in the exercise of his discretion, especially when the provisions of the bill are patently unconstitutional. Here is the twist. Sarkaria Commission also allowed the use of discretionary powers, but the discretionary power should be limited to just finding out whether it is unconstitutional or not. If it is constitutional, the approval is not an issue. He can approve, the governor can approve the bill, can give his assent to the bill if there is no constitutional uh, ambiguity or constitutional a threat to the constitution arising out of that. Now let us look at one more example from the UK, the United Kingdom. According to D.D. Basu, one of the prominent writers on constitution, he has given an example of the UK, United Kingdom, where a sovereign has no power to withhold a bill without the advice of the Council of Ministers. It means the Council of Ministers is paramount, and the king or the sovereign cannot withhold a bill without his permission. And now come to the point, the omission of the word discretion in the Article 200 of the Constitution. It clearly states that the bills that are presented to the governor will be dealt with by taking the Council of Ministers in confidence. It means they must be aided and advised by the Council of Ministers before taking any decision on the bills presented before them. And that is why there is an omission of the word discretion in Article 200. When this case of J.D. Padriwala was decided by the judges in the judgment, they set a timeline for both the governors and the presidents to take decision on the bills presented before them before within 3 months timeline. It has been objected to by the government of India. The government argues that such a timeline cannot be set for the governors and the presidents who are the constitutional heads. The constitutional heads must not be treated like this, must not be bound by timelines. This is the primary objection to the judgment given by the court. But we are back to the square one. Timeline. Can they prolong their consent? Can they prolong their approval, and the bill can drag on without assent by the governor or the president? Can this go on? The Constitution does not permit this. The Constitution does not permit. One reason why the Constitution does not permit that the governor can sit on the bill for uh, a long period of time, which is deemed to be inappropriate. One article in the Constitution, Article 355, if it is creatively interpreted to mean that the union government can intervene to ensure that the government of a state is carried on in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. Here, the Article 355 gives authority to the union government to supervise the functioning of the state government, whether the state government is functioning smoothly or not, and if needed it can intervene in most of the matters. Why can the union government not intervene in the matter when the governor is withholding the bill and the welfare schemes being pursued by the state government are held to ransom by the discretionary powers of the governor? Why here uh, can the central government not intervene? If the central government intervenes here, it is within the constitutional validity of the. It is provided as a uh, valid thing for the government. It is valid for the union government to come out in support of the state legislature and the state government if there is a lack of smooth functioning in the government. It can direct the governor itself, the office of the governor itself, to not create hurdles and roadblocks in the path of the smooth functioning of the government. It can do that. Now, to conclude this, here we see that two cases are in favor of the governors. There are two decisions by the Supreme Court: State of Punjab versus Principal Secretary to the Governor 2023 and the State of Tamil Nadu versus Governor of Tamil Nadu and others. In these two landmark judgments, they are supportive of federal structure of the constitution. It means there should be no nothing that can hinder the state government from exercising its powers. There should be a mutuality of understanding on different issues between the state and the central government, and the governor of Tamil Nadu and others. All these two judgments are in the favor of smooth functioning of the state governments. Sometimes there is a blame put on the uh, judiciary. The judiciary is blamed that it is overreaching itself. It should not go beyond the limits, and sometimes it is passing judgments which bypass the legislature. It means this is the duty of the legislature to amend the constitution or make laws, but the courts are making laws and amending the constitution, and that is not acceptable in view of the balance of power principles that are enshrined in the Constitution of India. And but the fair point to raise here, on my part, I'd say it's okay that a timeline is set for the governors and the president to decide on the bills presented before them. It's okay. It is in favor of the state legislature and the citizens of the country and the state at large. That is, when it is in larger interest, that cannot be objectionable at all. It is not amending the constitution. If the courts are delivering such judgments, it is not amending the constitution. They are just developing a mechanism to deal with the challenges to the constitutional order. When a constitutional order is disrupted, the courts intervene and they try to restore the constitutional order, and that is why they pass these kinds of judgments. To conclude here, when we have just seen all the aspects of the issue, the Article 200, which empowers the governors to take decisions on the bills, the discretionary powers of the governors, the Article 355, what does the Article 355 says, and different court judgments, many of them are in favor of the governors giving assent to the bill, or withholding it, or sending to the legislature back for reconsideration, or sending to the president. But there must be a timeline. It must not go on, drag on indefinitely. We are in the favor of the resolution of such disputes between the state government and the governors. They should come to the talking table and resolve the issues, and do not just hold the legislature to ransom or hold the wishes of the people to ransom. With all these best wishes, I hope that one day the truth will dawn on them and they will act according to the constitution of the country and the established law. They will honor the constitution. Thank you very much for watching my informative videos, and once again I request you to please make this family large. Let these contents reach out to students in large numbers, and thank you again very much.